So here's an extra video with just the super basics of Google Earth Pro. If you feel confident using Google Earth, head on to the next video now. But if you don't, watch this one first. Okay, so here's what I'd say. Play around with it. There's nothing to be afraid of. Here's the map. Here's the menus. And here's what they call the sidebar, which is just a list of stuff to look at. I usually leave it looking like this. This search section at the top is to search for any place in the world. I usually close it. This layers section at the bottom, these are pretty simple. Google makes them. You cannot change them. I always leave terrain and 3D turned on. We'll come back to this. And if you need them, roads, places, and borders. But sometimes not. They're a little busy. This background here on the map you can change with View Historical Imagery, which can go back in time, but also you can just pick a recent one that you like. Okay, so that just leaves this Places section. This is the main thing because you can change these. So let's start at the very beginning here. Back at Zooniverse, after you install Google Earth Pro on your computer, you download this KML file right here. It'll save. You double-click it, and it will open up in your Temporary Places folder. Now, Temporary Places just means that when you go to quit the program, it'll say, hey, we'll delete this unless you save this now. I'm not going to do that now. What I am going to do is this folder here. I'm just going to drag this to My Places. And we don't even need this little container. Okay, so here's the PhotoMappr folder. This has everything you need to do this project. So here's how to use this folder. You click these arrows to open and close folders. You click these boxes to turn things off and on. I wouldn't turn on the whole folder because it's huge. And of course you can move around. Now the easiest way to move is just to double click any place and it'll zoom to that place. So let's just do an easy example. Let's say we want photo number 1. So we'll open this folder which has the photos folder in it. And here I'll double click this and it'll zoom to that place. See, I just double clicked. This button here turns it off and on. See it turning off and on. And here there's a little link that'll open up this card. Okay, so now we've looked at photo number 1. If we want, we can close this. We can turn this off. We can close the folder. We can close the folder. And here's a shortcut. Let's say we want photo number, 1292. Instead of scrolling through this huge folder, click on this down here. See, it says Find in My Places. I'm just going to type ABHL 1292, boop, and it goes right to it. Now to close this folder, because again it's big, grab your scroll bar and just drag it to the top. Some computers sort of hide the scroll bars these days, but it's there if you move. And the rest of this PhotoMappr folder has more stuff to help you. Here's a map. Oh, here's a website. Here is a help page if you need it. Okay, so we said you can move by double-clicking places. Here I'm just going to double-click PhotoMappr. It'll show us the Black Hills. You can also just fly around to wherever you want. So to zoom in, I'm just turning the wheel on my mouse. You can drag the ground sideways. And if you just hold down the Shift key on your keyboard, drag again, and it'll tilt to any angle you want. Shift, drag. So this, of course, is the Bear Lodge. It's a good illustration of 3D versus no 3D. Pretty significant. Let's look. No 3D, 3D. And you notice the background, it makes no change at all because most areas don't have 3D building data available. And 3D buildings really includes hills and trees and everything else. Oh, and here's the best tip of all. If you want to reset the view, just press the R key. I'm going to click on the map and press the R key, and it'll reset the view. So you can double click, you can fly around, and you can walk around. There's two slightly different versions of walking on the ground. First, if you drag Pegman, here's Pegman up here, to a blue road, It's just Street View, same as in Google Maps. Press Escape to get out, and you can press R again if you want to reset the view. But if you drag Pegman to a place away from the blue road, let's say out here with prairie dogs, you can just walk around anywhere. Just press the arrow keys. Here we go, we're turning and we're walking. And in fact, you can run about 25 miles an hour. So to summarize, that's Street View and Ground Level View. In fact, with this button up here, you can switch back and forth between the two if you're on a blue road. Real, simulated. So that's how you move around. Here's one last trick, looking at your toes, and here's why. For PhotoMappr, you copy your location over to the website by doing Edit, Copy View Location. But you see, this says View Location. That means wherever you're looking, not where you're standing. So what you do is you just make them the same thing. You look straight down. You look where you're standing. So I'm going to click on this and press Command down. So I'm holding the Command key on a Mac, Control key in Windows, and you press the down arrow key. So now I'm looking at my toes. So if I do Edit, Copy View Location, that is where I'm standing. All right, thanks for watching. Now go watch the other video where you can watch me place a photo 1, 2, or 3 times. There's also a whole help file, and write to us in the talk section if you still have questions.